Hi everyone. Imaginary friend here. Today we are going to be analyzing episode 67 part 2. We'll be answering all questions like where's TV-Man, is this the real Skibidi scientist? Is the upgraded G-Man even real, and many more. Anyways, enough rambling, let's get to the analysis. In the beginning of the episode, we see Skibidi scientist. By the way, do you remember the last time we saw Skibidi scientist? You can notice that he has 4 armor plates on his claws. But on this scientist there are only 2. Maybe he lost them along the way or something. This could imply that this Skibidi scientist is fake, but I don't think something that minor is much evidence of a clone. Because it would probably take too many resources to clone Skibidi scientist. Anyways, the Titan cameraman gives him the "you are dead" sign. This definitely angered Skibidi scientist. And considering he already has a red eye, this was not a good move. Considering the last red-eyed toilet had insane durability. The Titans and Skibidi scientist just start going at it. Titan Speakerman takes the first shot only to immediately get shot down by the scientist's gun near his eye. Next, Titan camera tries to saw off Skibidi scientist's claws but fails. I wonder how strong that metal in his claws are. Considering that these saws are very powerful, Skibidi scientist uses his speaker to knock down Titan cameraman, and also, damn, that speaker is strong. It managed to throw Titan cameraman to the ground easily. It's probably because he was weakened. If he wasn't damaged, he probably wouldn't even flinch. But even our camera gets affected by the sound blast. It also creates shockwaves. Then Titan Speakerman tries to jump on top of Skibidi scientist and stab him just like he did with G-Man. However, things didn't go as expected and he got flung to the floor just like Titan cameraman. Next, this psychopath pulls an acid gun out of his ass and shoots a rocket at Titan Speakerman. This causes him to lose his only gun left, meaning he is basically useless. Also notice those things in the mountain. They look like TVs, specifically those from a big TV-Man. It looks like they were watching this battle. Or it could be Titan TV-Man. Maybe he got upgraded to have more TVs and those 2 are the smaller TVs. Maybe to spy on battles like these. Next, we see Titan Speakerman charge up a core laser. Yeah, a core laser. He could have done that the entire time? Well, that would have been useful in other battles like G-Man, and hell, even against Titan cameraman. Maybe he can only use it when he is weak or something. By the way, do you notice that the scientist's tentacles are the same ones from the octo toilet in episode 44? Maybe he grabbed those parts once Cinnamon was done with him, or most likely he just made other ones. I mean, would he really risk being spotted just for these tentacles? We know of the scientist's insanely high intellect and he doesn't sound like the type of person to do such a thing. Also notice how the laser's made up of energy. You can see the electricity particles coming out. Meaning that Titan Speakerman used a lot of energy on this, and considering he's been shot by an acid cannon and exploded by a couple barrels of explosives, this laser cost him a bunch of durability, making him weaker. Also notice the type of acid cannon the scientist uses is different from the one the Mafia toilet uses. It's more of an acid rocket launcher, unlike the Mafia's acid spray. It uses 2 barrels instead of 1, which means the acid is more powerful. The beam then hits the acid cannon, making all the acid explode on scientist's face. And come on, this guy is definitely not human. Look at him, 2 barrels of acid just exploded onto his face and all he got was a little burn? You can't just naturally make your skin tougher, so does this mean the scientist is a robot? Or better yet, a mech for the actual Skibidi scientist to use against CST. But this bitch thinks he is the Terminator and pulls out another gun from his ass, this time a laser, which he shoots at Titan Speakerman's core. It collides with his energy beam and attacks his core immensely, almost killing him. And while Titan Speakerman is getting his shit kicked, this lazy ass bitch is just standing there. After Titan Speakerman actually falls, it's his turn to exchange fists with the scientist. He saws up the laser. The scientist then swings at him and knocks Titan cameraman down with his speaker again. He then pulls another acid cannon from his back, and gets ready to shoot Titan cameraman with it. But Plungerman saves the day, ramming into the acid cannon and knocking it right out of the scientist's tentacle. By the way, you can see that the guns aren't actually attached to the tentacles. So does he just have an entire arsenal of guns behind his back? I mean, we haven't seen his back for a reason. He then rams into his speaker to try and knock it down but miserably fails. The scientist shows him what that bad boy can really do and freezes Plungerman in the air before doing a final shockwave to send him flying once again. This motherfucker has died in big battles 2 times already. He caused 1 benefit to the fight before dying. And why is Titan cameraman not helping? How lazy is he? But if you are actually wondering if Plungerman's dead for real, then don't worry, this bitch has plenty of plot armor to spare. I mean, why wouldn't he return? Maybe he can actually do something in a battle instead of fucking dying over and over again. Even if you see a slight flash, I bet you tenfold that this asshole is 100% coming back in like 6 episodes. However, Plungerman's death enraged Titan cameraman, making him go straight for his laser eye, sawing away at it slowly. All we see is explosions. You can't tell me his face isn't made from metal. But then, guess what? G-Man is back. Well, is it really G-Man? Let's look at all Vidmans we have seen so far. This G-Man in episode 38 was most likely a throwaway, since they didn't know what would happen if a Skibidi toilet got hit by the disinfection laser rifle, so they threw in a strong soldier to stop Titan Speakerman from getting disinfected. We also saw this G-Man in episode 4. He has improved lasers and additional armor. He lost his laser eyes due to Cinema Man's TV screen during the fight. We see the same G-Man in episode 57. He has 3 upgraded lasers. But he doesn't have his laser eyes. He has goofy eyeglasses in case Cinema Man comes back. He got severely injured by Titan cameraman and then returned to base. This G-Man episode appearance is the most confusing yet. If you notice, G-Man has white pupils. He has the normal versions of the lasers instead of the upgraded ones, which doesn't make sense, considering that scientist trusts G-Man and wouldn't make him weaker. But if he was a clone, then how come he has the same scar? You might be asking, well, I think scientist only started cloning him after the injury, since he knew G-Man would need time to rest and he had enough resources to clone him. But why does he have white pupils? We learned from episode 66 that white-pupiled Skibidi are dead, so maybe this is a failed experiment or something? You also notice that he doesn't wear sunglasses like the other G-Man did. We see that upgraded version does have glasses, so I don't know why he wouldn't give this G-Man one, except if he was the same one we saw in episode 65, and scientist didn't give him his glasses so he could use his laser eyes. Keep in mind that the other G-Man lost his laser eyes, but I think this is the real G-Man. First of all, he has Titan V-Man's core, which is not something Skibidi scientist would give to a regular G-Man clone. Second of all, he has replacement lasers on his head. Probably because he doesn't have his laser eyes. I doubt the scientist would remove the laser eyes as they are built into G-Man. But how did they get so many of Titan V-Man's items? The speakers, the core. Could they have actually captured Titan V-Man in episode 47 to 48? In that case, who did we see at the V-Man's base? A secondary Titan? If it's cloned, how did they clone it? Or could it have just been replicated? Anyways, it's weird to see G-Man having a core with no protection. Also, I think his lasers are the same ones that scientist had earlier. However, there's still a slight possibility there's another G-Man roaming around. Maybe a non-upgraded G-Man that wants to get revenge on scientist for not upgrading him? Maybe we'll team up with CST to defeat the scientist toilet. Could it be the return of Brickhead G-Man? Anyways, notice how powerful G-Man's lasers are. With only 2 of them, G-Man managed to do more damage to Titan camera than he did with 6 of the older versions of the upgraded lasers. Imagine how deadly G-Man could turn into if he gets more of these. But even after that incredibly powerful laser blast, Titan camera still gets up and is ready to fight. But unfortunately, it's just too late. Scientist uses a hooked tentacle that comes out of his mouth like the parasites and removes his lens. Does this mean the scientist is a parasite too? Also, I didn't know that Titan camera had a lens protection. Maybe it was for Titan V-Man in case he got infected or fought alongside him? But sadly he was defeated 3 episodes before Titan cameraman's return. But why would scientists swallow the lens instead of keeping it for future upgrades? Well, I mean, you know what beats Titan V-Man? Sunglasses and headphones. He cracked the code already, and unless Titan gets up close there's really nothing he can do. Hopefully they accounted that in his upgrades and he has cannons like Titan Speakerman or something. I find it interesting that this upgraded G-Man doesn't have any headphones, even though he is fighting right next to Skibidi scientist who has speakers that can break eardrums and manage to yeet Plungerman and the Titans to the floor. Then, scientist unhooks his speaker, revealing a TV with the word Skibidi written under it. First of all, this isn't Cinemaman's TV, it's much thinner. And I find it weird that it has the word Skibidi written on it. Like, sure, this could be another instance of Skibidi wanting to up their name on everything, but what if this has something to do with TV-Man? Maybe the Skibidi written under it was to separate between the TV-Man's TVs and the Skibidi's TVs, which would explain how it has its hypnosis power. But then maybe TV-Man found that they disagreed with Skibidi's goals and decided to work with CS to defeat the Skibidi. Or they could be traitors. Or maybe all TVs in this universe have this ability, I don't know. Skibidi scientist then puts Titan camera under hypnosis and forces him to saw his camera off. This could be very dangerous for CST if Skibidis get control of Titan cameraman, since we know how resistant his body armor is. If we look a bit closer, you can actually see what I presume to be Titan Speakerman flying away to alert everyone of what just happened. Now I have a question. Where is Cinnamon during all this? We know from this leak that he was somewhere here. In the battlefield. So if my guesses earlier were correct, that means Cinnamon should be just about on that mountain there. He could easily fly over and absolutely destroy G-Man from the back. Is he waiting for the perfect time to strike? Maybe in episode 67 part 3, Astro toilets will come to get revenge on Scientist along with T-Beam and Titan? We haven't heard from them in a while. Maybe they aren't on CSD or Skibidi toilets side but are against both. Maybe the reveal of a new race? Or maybe we will see multiple G-Man clones working together. Or maybe, the reveal that this isn't the real Titan Speakerman. And the real one is immensely upgraded and is infected. And this Titan was just a decoy or something. Or even an excuse to try and turn some of the toilets you didn't like, which in this case are the Astro toilets, against G-Man so he would have a reason to kill them. But they got away and they could be getting upgraded by using remnants of other cameramen or Skibidi. There are so many things that could happen in the next episode. And I hope it lives up to the hype that most people were expecting. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is Imaginary Friend. And I'll see you when the next episode comes out.